Hello there, everyone out there in Facebook world. It is Tuesday. I had to remember, I'm thinking it was Monday, but it's not Monday because I missed yesterday. But I'm back in Orlando. I was so excited to be in Monroeville this weekend for the car wash. That was a success. Thank you guys. Thanks to everyone that came out and supported the car wash. We will have other times, other things, and I just want to say hello to all of you guys that are coming in, Roxy and Tara and my sister Barbara Jean. Thank you guys all for tuning in today for the Mahogany Motivational Moment for Tuesday. If I say Monday, y'all just pray for me because I'm just a little backwards right now. I'm thinking it's Monday when it's really Tuesday. But I made it home safely, obviously. I'm here in Orlando, but ran into a little something on the way back. But God is good, and He is faithful. So thank you all so much for tuning in to Mahogany's Motivational Moment for Tuesday. Oh, my God, that's getting to be a tongue twister for me. Mahogany Motivational Moment. If I say MMM, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? But anyway, how's your week? How's everybody doing? How's everything going for everyone? I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I hope your week is going as you planned. But if it's not, you know what I always say, may not be part of the plan, but works, right? So, but anyway, today's topic today is going to be pretty interesting because we all like to eat, right? Well, maybe me. I'm just talking to myself. I don't really like to eat that much, but we all like to eat, right? And I think that there comes a time when we eat too much. And when you relate that to the spiritual world, I think that we put too much on our plate sometimes. You know, we try to take it all in. We try to eat it all. And just like in the natural, you can't. Your body wasn't meant to do that. That's why God made the stomach only so big. You know that, right? And if we didn't have pain, we wouldn't realize that we've eaten too much, right? So I think that in the spiritual world as well, we have to take care of those things as well. Hi, Annette. How are you, She said, hey, boo. How are you? Roxy, hello. Stephen, thank you so much for tuning in to the Mahogany Motivational Moment for Tuesday. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate that. While we're waiting to get started, you guys can go ahead and share it so other people can kind of chime in. I'd appreciate that so very much because we really want to spread the word. Because today, we're going to teach some people how to get up from the table. All right? You've had enough. You've eaten. That's enough. Get up from the table. You got to know when, right? So, but we're not really talking about real food. We're talking about spiritual food. We're talking about things that we get in our lives that, we try to eat everything on our plate. Everything that somebody hands out to us, we try to eat it. And that's why we're experiencing a lot of pain right now, right? So, basically, what I want to tell you guys today is, one of the things that we have to consider, all right? Sorry about that. One thing that we have to consider is I'm back. Just a little foo-foo there. Hi, Gloria. How are you, dear? Thank you for tuning in to Mahogany Motivational Moment for today. It's so good to see you, dear. But anyway, one of the things that we have to consider, guys, when we are eating from the plate of life, okay? You have a plate of food, then you have a life plate. And both of them are filled with things we like. Doesn't mean they're always good for us, but we fill it with things we like. Hi, Carlita. Hi, sis. Thank you so much for tuning in to Mahogany Motivational Moment. It's full of things that we like, right? Now, when you look at the plate of food, you got all this stuff on there, and, you're looking at it, and, whoever fixed your plate, they know that you like certain things. Now, in life, you're going to be dealt certain things because you're going to fill your life with things you like. You're not going to put things on your plate of stuff you don't like. I've never seen anyone go fix their plate with stuff they don't like. So obviously, we're going to be living and eating on things that we all like, right? So the first thing I want you guys to do, when you have your plate in front of you, consider who prepared the food. Who prepared the food for you? Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm one of those kind of people. I'm not just going to eat anybody's cooking, right? And I'm sure that a lot of you guys are like that too. You're not just going to eat someone's cooking just because they say, hey, look, I cooked something for you. Here it is. Eat it. You're going to consider who made it. Now, just in the natural, are you going to eat plate of food from someone that has roaches all in their kitchen? I'm just saying. I'm not trying to, I'm just being real, because we keep it real on the Mahogany Bronze Hour, right? So someone comes to you with a plate of food and you know they got roaches all over the place. You might be a little scared to eat that because you're going to be worried about whether or not there's probably some roaches count up in that, right? So you're going to consider who is preparing this food for you, right? Who is giving it to you. But in the natural, we tend to take anything from anyone. Now, just like in the natural, when you have food that's prepared for you, you know all of it's not good for you, right? You got to know that. But we like it, so we eat it anyway. But you got to know that all of it's not good for you. Now, just as careful as we are about that person preparing food for us and putting it on our plate, we need to consider the same thing spiritually, okay? Everybody that puts stuff on your plate don't mean you any good intentions now. People will fill your life and your plate of life, your life plate with stuff, and it's not always good for you. You got to consider where it's coming from. I'm just saying. I just wanted to use that example. Like, who are you listening to? Who are the people that you're allowing to fill your life plate with? Okay, you got all this stuff that you're dealing with from day to day. Who are you allowing to do this? Who are you listening to? Are you one of those kind of people that are just listening to anybody and just going all over the place and don't know where you want to go and what you should be doing because you're listening to everybody, letting anybody put on your plate? Or are you the kind of person that you're kind of careful about? You know, you listen, I know they may be wise, but I don't listen to everybody. Those are people that are watching what they're eating, right? Because some of us are a little bit more conscious about what we're eating. So if you're that type of person, like you think for example, if you see something that says poison, do you need someone to tell you not to eat it? I mean, just be real. If you see something and it has poison and it has a little skull, you know what I'm talking about, and it says hazardous to your health, do you need anyone to tell you that? You know if you take that in, you're going to die. Possibly. So in the spiritual realm, why do we need to be told? The Bible tells you though, but let's just say, why do we need to be told, hey, if you hang out with gossipers and liars and cheaters and people that steal and people that do this, that's hazardous to your soul? Do we need that? Well, then Mahogany Bronze is going to tell you that today. I'm getting the little skull signal and I'm telling you, hanging out with gossipers, hanging out with people that are backbiters, hanging out with people that don't know, don't love God, don't care about God, could care less about his agenda, people that dine daily with the devil. You know, these are the kind of people that are hazardous to your soul. Okay? Bible tells you that, and it tells you why. Now, that poison with the little skull on it says it's hazardous to your health. These things are hazardous to your soul. Okay? So watch what you're putting on your plate. Watch who's putting it on your plate. Okay? You don't know what they're doing in their kitchen. Hello, somebody. You don't know what somebody's done in their kitchen, and now they're going to put a plate out there. You didn't see them prepared. You don't know what they put in it, and you're just eating it all willy-nilly. No, we can't be like that. You know, we have to be careful, but we have to be just as careful about what we allow in our soul, too. Okay? Just as careful. So, now, let me show you guys something. When you go into a business, a place of business, and I'm going to show you how particular you got to be about your plate. You know how when you go into a place of business and they have a secretary or a receptionist or someone like that sitting there in the front of the business, okay? When you get there, they're sitting there and they're greeting you. Hello, how are you? Thanks for coming by, you know, that type of thing. What are they going to want to know before you get past them? They're going to want to know, who are you here to see? What is it? What business do you have with them? And they're going to want to know, you know, we call those people gatekeepers. Those are the people that salespeople have the hard time getting past. That's why they have to promise them a whole bunch of stuff to get in. These are gatekeepers. Now, in the natural, if the world is set up for us to have gatekeepers to keep you out of getting into a business, you should mind your soul that way. You should have a gatekeeper mentality that you will check anybody that's coming in your door. Who do you want to see? What's up? What are you coming with? What you got? What you working with? What do you want? What do you need to know? We don't ask those questions. We just let people in our soul and just keep filling it up with stuff. And then when we wake up one day and we're all raggedy inside, now we don't understand why. It's because you didn't have a gatekeeper mentality. You just let anybody in, right? Chester says he doesn't eat everywhere. I don't blame you, brother. I'm telling you. You'll go into some people's house and that looks like it might be dressing, but there might be some roach dressing. You just never know. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. So anyway, so you have to consider those things. Now, another thing you got to consider, guys, consider what's being put on your plate. What kind of stuff are we eating? What are we eating? Now, I know in the natural, we don't want to eat stuff that's causing you heartburn and heartache and high blood pressure. We all know that. That's the natural. We know we're not supposed to be eating all kinds of garbage, because that's why we end up with all these diseases, because we're not careful about what we eat, right? But we talk about spiritual food today. We're talking about what's on our plate in the spiritual world. Now, on your plate, you're going to have foods that add weight to you in the natural. But you also have foods that add weight to you in the spiritual, too. Hello, somebody. How is that, Ella? What do you mean? Because you're taking on stuff that you shouldn't be taking on. You're sitting around here with a heavy heart because of something somebody has done to you, or something someone has told you, or something that someone has brought into your life that has nothing to do with you. Now you're walking around here with a heavy heart. You add weight to your life. God didn't mean for you to carry around all that weight. When he got on that cross, he lifted half of it. Okay? So you don't have to worry about all that stuff. So why you got all this weight on you? Why? Okay? There are foods in the spiritual world that add weight to you. Now, like for example, you allow certain people on your plate, certain people in your life, certain people to pop on your plate. And here they are, smokers. Now here you got secondhand cancer. You got cancer from secondhand smoke. And you're not even the one smoking the cigarettes. Is that crazy? But that's the same thing you do to your soul. You're here tied up spiritually with people that you shouldn't be, because you just don't know how to say no, right? Then you have foods that cause decay. You eat enough sweets, they're going to eventually make your teeth decay. And then now, before you know it, it's gotten so bad that it gets down to your nerves. That's exactly how people do you. You let some people in your life, they look sweet. Now, I know in the natural, you're going to eat on some sweets. That's the quickest way to get some decay in your mouth. But you got these people that look sweet, and you just eat off them and love on them. And before you know it, all your teeth falling out. They've caused a decay in your soul. And now it's all the way down to the nerve. Now every time you see them, they get on your nerves, right? I'm just saying, it's just kind of crazy. Chester says, I don't allow just any preacher feed me neither. That's right. That's a whole nother subject, Chester, but thank you so much for that comment. So those are the kind of things. You weren't meant to take all of this stuff in, guys. We have a lot of these problems because we don't know what to put on our plate and what not. And then we try to fill the plate. Have you ever seen those people? You know how when you go to a family reunion? I'm guilty. You know how when you go to a family reunion and you try to pile stuff on top of stuff to make room? You just get another plate, right? But, hello. You just keep filling it up. We haven't understood the concept that in the spiritual world, we keep piling all this stuff on our plate, and you were never meant to have to do that. It's amazing how God made the stomach only so big. It's amazing how God allowed our lives to be that same way. You weren't meant to take in all that stuff. Okay? So we have to be mindful of some of the stuff that we keep allowing on our plate. All right? You guys are getting full and getting all this pain for no reason. Right? Because you're not meant to have to deal with all that stuff. Now, you know that saying, they say the eyes bigger than the stomach? That's how some people, when they fix their plate, the eyes are bigger than the stomach. Here we go talking about the eyes again. Isn't it something how just about with every one of my Mahogany motivational moments, everything somehow always boils down to what we see. We see that food, we want it. We can't handle it, but we like it because we judge everything by our eyes. So you're going to fix your plate, and your eyes are fixing that plate because you know how you go fix a lot of food on the plate and have to end up throwing it away because you can't really handle all that. But our eyes. Now let me tell you guys something. Everything that looks good to you is not good for you. I can say that one again because I'm preaching to myself on that one. Everything that looks good to you is not good for you. Everything that glitters is not gold. And I don't think there's anyone within the sound of my voice that don't believe that. Everybody knows that everything that glitters is not gold. Listen, guys, this is real right here, what I'm about to tell you. Life is like a puzzle. And I think that each one of us has our box. You know, you have those little box with the puzzle and the wrapping is wrapped around it. I think that when we were born, that God had a puzzle for us. And he said, okay, this one's Ella. There you go, out the door. Next one, who's on here? Ava. Here's Ava's. Next, out the door. Who's next? Roxy. There you go. Next, out the door. The puzzle's already there. But now when you get a puzzle, is it put together? No, it's not. It's all shaped the way it needs to. The pieces are all meant to go together, but they're not put together. Now, and I think the reason for that is because God needs you to live a little bit. So guess what? Now you got your box. I got my box. What some of y'all try to do is you want to take the box over here, take a piece out of their box, and go and put it in your box. Because you like their box a little bit better, so you want to try to go get a piece of their life. Because you remember, the life is like a puzzle now. You want to go get a piece of their life and go over here and put it in yours. Guess what? It doesn't fit. Why won't it fit? Because it wasn't meant for you. That's not your puzzle. See, we're trying to put pieces in the puzzle. God has already put it together for you. That's what I'm talking about. Your puzzle is already put together. All God is waiting on you is just put the pieces together. And you know what that means? There's people that got to meet each other. Pieces go together. They jive up one to one. And before you know it, in life, now your puzzle is complete. But now, some of you, your puzzle isn't complete because you're trying to put a piece in there that doesn't fit. Get rid of it. Give it back to who it belongs to. It ain't your piece. You got your own puzzle. Okay? So, I just wanted to throw that out there. And you know what? Another thing I noticed too. This is one reason why we keep filling our plates up with so much stuff. We are so concerned about the outward appearance. We are so concerned about stuff that looks good. We are so concerned about looking good. That's why you can have somebody that can have a car that's like, they'll have like tires that are like $200 a piece, rims that are like rent-a-rims. You know, renting rims? I ain't never heard of that. But anyway, you got all this money that you've invested in the car and they got no insurance on the car. Right? So concerned about looking good. Or not that. We'll have our nails down. We'll have on a $200 suit. We'll be looking good. Have a nice wig. I'm talking about that human hair wig stuff. Not those little synthetic ones. I'm talking about human hair, the good stuff. And we'll have all that stuff. Nails done, hair done, butts done, you know, because we're getting butts and everything now too. And all of this stuff. But we got a raggedy heart. We don't know how to talk to people. We don't know how to treat people. You and your wig with that kind of heart, I'm dying to go to hell. Really? We're so concerned about what we see. So it still comes down to what we see. We see all this stuff we want to put on our plate because we like it. Our plate is full of things that we love. But now, but guess what? Guess what's getting ready to happen? You've been eating off that plate a little bit too much. Now you're hurting. Hi, Travis. How are you? It's so good to see you. I knew Travis over at Channel 2. West here in Tampa. I'm not sure. I mean, in Orlando. I'm not sure if you're still here, but hello, Travis. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's awesome to see you. Hey, you guys hiring over there? I'm just tripping, but for real. But anyway, so now what's going to happen is now that you have taken on so much and you've taken in so much, now you're going to start having some stomach pain. Ooh, that's a sign. Taking on too much. When it's starting to hurt in your life, you're taking on too much. You've eaten too much, okay? Remember, the stomach wasn't meant to take in all of that. So now you're starting to hurt. But you know one thing that's good about pain? Sometimes I think that if some of us didn't go through pain, we wouldn't realize there was a problem. And if some of us didn't have problems, we would never pray. Isn't that something? So sometimes pain is necessary to get us to God. I think so. Let me say that again. If some of you didn't go through pain, you wouldn't realize there was a problem. And if some of you didn't have problems, you would never pray. Really weird, right? But I just think that it's so necessary because now you got a stomach ache. Now you either got some food poisoning or there's something that you ate that doesn't agree with your spirit. Ooh. There's something that you've taken on that does not agree with your spirit. So now you got a plate and you've eaten all this stuff. Now you're going through pain. Now you realize there's a problem. Now you realize that there's something on your plate that ain't good. Now you realize that some of these people that you're probably hanging out with are not good for you. Now you realize that everything that glitters is not gold. Now you realize that everything that looks good to you is not good for you. Now you realize because you're in pain now. Wow. Now you're in pain. But you know what? A lot of times that pain, that unction that you get sometimes that something isn't right, that's the Holy Spirit speaking to you. And some of you experiencing that. Listen to it. God is trying to protect you. He's trying to protect you. Now, you know, one thing that I know too, everything that goes in must come out. Everything that goes up must come down, right? Wouldn't you all agree with that? Is there anyone that don't agree with that? Everything that goes in has to come out. Everything that goes up must go down. When you eat food, it has to come out. It has to. I mean, that's just how life is. You drink water, it has to come out. That's just how the body works. But now what about your soul? What about your soul? Anything that you deposit in your soul, it must come out. Anything that you put in good, it comes out. You put good in, good comes out. You put bad in, bad comes out. That's how it works, right? Now in the natural, and I'm not trying to gross y'all out, but in the natural, when you put food in your body, it's got to come out. What happens if it doesn't? You're going to be constipated, right? So, I'm sorry, I just had to go there. I'm trying to prove a point. Y'all just stay with me. Pray for me. Okay? So, everything that goes in must come out. And let's just take this again. You take food in your body, it doesn't come out, that's constipation now. When your spirit takes in so much and it doesn't come out the way it should, now that's frustration. See? Neither one of them were anything that God called for you. He meant you to have a healthy body as well as a healthy soul. Okay? What you put in is what you use to feed your soul. Don't you want to feed your soul with good stuff? Now, let me tell you about frustration, guys. You're frustrated. Some of you are going through some stuff and you're a little frustrated. Frustration is confirmation that your situation is going through a transformation. I'm going to say that again because somebody missed it. You're frustrated, right? It's not really God's plan for your life. You created it. Remember, what you put in must come out. What goes up must come down. So if you're putting in good stuff is going to come out. If you're putting in bad stuff is going to come out. Frustration comes from bad stuff. That means that you're allowing people in your life that ain't got no business there. You're allowing things in your life that you ain't got no business dealing with. You're now going through stuff that you would not have had to go through had you just turned the plate away. You ain't got to eat everything on your plate, guys. In some cultures, that's proper. I'm glad I don't live there, but I'm just saying. You don't eat everything on your plate. In the natural, okay, you're hungry, you might tend to do that. But in the spiritual world, definitely in the spiritual world. How can you be more concerned about what you put in your body than you do your soul? This is what really matters, is what you're feeding your soul. So we have to be just as careful about that. So frustration is confirmation. Let me back it up because I'm going to break it down for you as I go. I'm going to go for everybody that's trying to write this down maybe. Frustration is confirmation. So if you're frustrated, that's a sign. That's confirmation from God. Something's happening now. Okay? Frustration is confirmation that your situation, what you're going through right now, is going through a transformation. That means because you're frustrated, the balls are rolling now. It's getting ready to change because you're frustrated. Get it? Frustration is confirmation that your situation is going through a transformation. Hello, somebody. Now, you guys know I have a quote. You know I have a quote. You know I got to have a quote. That's the first thing I do is get a quote. But I just wanted to do this one today because I sense that a lot of times we think it's our Christian duty to eat everything on our plate. Just like in the natural. I've been to people's homes and I felt like it was an insult to them if I don't eat everything on my plate, that they think the food wasn't good or that they feel like, Ella didn't enjoy that because she didn't eat everything. So in our minds, in our fleshly minds, earthly minds, we tend to eat everything because we don't want to hurt someone's feelings. But I feel that in the spiritual world, we do the same thing. We feel like we got to hang out with everybody. We feel like we got to say yes to everybody. We got to be yes men and women. We feel like we have to not hurt their feelings by going along with them. Well, I'm going to ride along with them because no one else goes, and then now you're doing time for drugs because they had drugs in the car, but you just didn't want to say no. You have to have spiritual discernment, okay, to know when to turn some things away. You can't say yes to everything. Even God don't say yes to everything, okay? So we have to learn how to put things and not take everything on our plate. There's some things you can leave them on the plate, especially if they're not good for you. Okay? Especially if they're not good for you. I really, really hope that you guys are getting something out of this. I hope it's making sense to you because today, basically what I want to get you guys to see is why you need to get up from the table. Okay? Because you don't need to have a box that says hazardous to your health to know that it's not good for you. But some of you do need someone to tell you when something is hazardous to your soul. Okay? Now, my quote for today. All right. If you want to be whole, be careful what you're feeding your soul. You don't have to eat it all to know that God is able, but be prayerful and know when to get up from the table. I'm going to say that again, because I think my time's almost up. If you want to be whole, be careful of what you're feeding your soul. You don't have to eat it all to know that God is able, but be prayerful and know when to get up from the table. You got to get up from the table, guys. You've been there long enough. What is it going to take for you to have to end up getting an ulcer for you to realize that these things that you're putting in your soul are not good for you? All you got to do is know the word of God, and God will show you and steer you right to the people that should be in your life. You guys are holding on to people that you shouldn't be. You got to learn how to let go. I am learning that, and it's not easy. It's not easy because there are people that I've known my entire life that I don't hang out with anymore because they're no longer good for my soul. You have to tend to that. Just like that gatekeeper. When you go to that business, the next time you go to a corporate office and you see that receptionist sitting there, watch how she protects the people there. She ain't going to just let you in. She want to know what you're there for, who you want to see, are they expecting you? She's going to ask you all that. She's a gatekeeper for the company. You need to be a gatekeeper for your soul. Don't let anybody come just because they walk in the door. I don't care if they walk in the door with a bag of Kisses. Hershey's Kisses. You know I love Hershey's Kisses, but that ain't going to work no more. Because now I'm a gatekeeper for my soul. So I don't care what you're working with or what you're coming with. I need to know why you're here. That plate is full of things that are pleasurable. You name one sin that's not pleasurable. There aren't any. So that's why it looks good to you. That's why you like to put it on your plate. It looks good. It feels good. It tastes good. It's fun. But that's just like, and I know you guys have heard these old people say stuff like this right here. They'll say, I remember when I was giving birth my first time, I was 17 years old. Well, actually, I was 17 years old when I gave birth to my first child. So naturally, I was in a lot of pain when I got ready to give birth to that baby. And I remember my mom saying, I was like, oh, Mom, this is so painful. It hurts. She said, it wasn't good. It wasn't hurting while you were getting it, was it? Now, you know, all the old folks, they love to say that. But think about it. When you're eating from that plate, you don't think about the pain that's going to come if you get too much of it. It's pleasurable at that moment, right? It feels good, tastes good. It feels good going down, right? But you don't see the pain that's going to come when you realize that it was poison. Be careful, guys. I'm going to say the quote one more time. But before I say the quote one more time, I want to say hello to everyone. Sorry about that. Let me see who all is on here today. I love you guys so much. You guys are so awesome. My sis Ann is here always. Carlita. I love your name, Carlita. Chester, Levant, Curtis, Ethel, Nathaniel. Hi, Nathaniel. How are you, buddy? Tracy, Rosie, Angela, Stallworth, Clara, Bernice. I see Clara. You know, I know you as Bernice, but what's up, girl? Minnie Lee, Brad McKinley, Paul People, Shamada. Hi, Shamada. How are you, girl? Annette, Cynthia, Robbins, Kaleda. How are you, sweetie? Kiss the kids for me. Tanya, Ava. How you doing? Ava, it was good seeing you Saturday. Thanks for coming up to the car wash. Annette, Roxy, Anthony Jones, Marsha. Hi, Marsha. MD Hall. Hello, all of you guys. Hello. Travis, Sherwin again. It's so good to see you. Michelle, my sis. Love you, girl. Teresa, Jeffrey Walker, my sister, Barbara G, James Lee, Mimi. I love your name, Mimi. That is so pretty. I love it. Thank you so much, all of you guys, for tuning in. Francis, Kimberly, Tronzi, Lenord, Rudine. Hi there, honey. How are you? James Pugh. And Janae, my sweet Janae, thank you all so much for tuning in to Mahogany Motivational Moment. I really hope that this was something that you enjoyed today. Stay tuned for tomorrow because I'll be back. I'll be back with something else, you know, because I like to live and see what kinds of things I really can turn it into a motivational moment so that people will get it. That's why I like to use real stuff. But I'm going to give you guys a quote one more time, and I got to get out of here. If you want to be whole, be careful what you're feeding your soul. You don't have to eat it all to know that God is able, but be prayerful and know when to get up from the table. Okay? I just hope you guys enjoyed it, and this has been another edition of Mahogany Bronze's Mahogany Motivational Moment right here with Ella Johnson. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 2 o'clock, right here on Facebook Live for another edition of Mahogany Motivational Moment. You guys have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you so much. I love all of you. And now take this video right now, share it. Just share it. I want to see it all being shared because we got to bless some folks, and we got to teach people how to get up from the table. It's time to stop eating all that stuff on the plate. You can leave some of it on. You don't have to. You can leave some of it on the plate. It's okay. It's okay. See you tomorrow right here, 2 o'clock, Facebook Live. Love you.